So yes, I was wrong. I love cars.
Oh boy.
Should have pushed the car back further. Oh boy. Well, welcome back to Rock and Roll Garage. And you know, like usually when you take a couple steps forward, you gotta take a few steps back. Well, that's what we gotta do. So, unfortunately, if you watched the last video, you kind of seen where our oil pan was. If not, I'll show you. Can you see that guy under there? Ooh-wee! That thing is super close to the ground. So yes, I was wrong. You can't use the 5.3 oil pan, okay? Sue me. So, unfortunately, I started thinking about it, and I was talking about, like, you know, oh, we're gonna put 17s on this with like a, you know, front runner on there, a bigger tire, blah blah blah. Well, realistically, we're not gonna get too much more out of a 17, because if a 17 goes to maybe like here, I mean, maybe we'll get a little bit, but not a lot. So I just bit the bullet and bought a swap pan. So pretty much in this video, unfortunately, this guy's got to come out because you can't get that oil pan on without getting this thing out of there. So yeah, that stinks. But hey, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. So I'm probably gonna set you up on a time lapse here as I pull this thing out. I gotta try to catch the coolant, yada yada yada, and get stuff out of the way. And yeah, it sucks, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. So hang along for the ride, and we'll see what we can come up with. Well, y'all, some time has passed, and oh boy, we've got a river, but whatever. We gotta get out of there at least. Which we are. I don't think we're connected to anything, but what do we do with the light? All the way over there. Good place for that. Oh boy. I think we're good. Yeah, I think we're okay. I don't know. We'll see when we rip something off, I guess, huh? I don't know about you, but surely to me, doesn't look like we're gonna clear the hood. Yeah. You're leaking, I hear you, I get it. Guess we'll catch some of it, huh? Guess we should have had the car back a little further, huh? We'll figure out something here, people. Whoa. These keep getting just caught on everything, you know? Hey, get off of that. Frickin' thing. Are wires magnetic now or something? Jesus Christ. I just realized this is gonna be so much fun. Trying to put this back in. This thing's just pissing corn. I wish I had a cap for that or something, man. Or if I put the hose on it or something. I don't know. Whatever. We're gonna have to get this thing out almost all the way. So we could drop this hood some. Should have pushed the car back further. Just enough. Thank God. What a frickin' hassle. Wish I would have pushed the car back further because now I'm dealing with the garage and all that kind of stuff. But she's out. I didn't think I'd get this annoyed, but I'm pretty annoyed. So this is probably where I'm leaving it for tonight. I'm gonna drop it down, let it just sit there, I guess. And come back another day to do the oil pan. I love cars. All right, sometime later, it's a different day. I had a golf outing yesterday and stuff, so we got her out. The camera died. So, whatever. What are you going to do? This is our swap pan. I'll put part numbers down in the description. This is like an LS3 windage tray. And this is from Summit. That's just Loctite and stuff. But this is a Summit swap pan. I think it was like, I don't know if there's a part number on there. There's your part number. So there's some discretions about the pickup tube not fitting. Well, you have to make an adjustment with, you either cut your factory windage tray or you buy one for like $37, like a GM LS3 one. And this is the pan. Let me get it out of here really quick. Right. Oh, jeez. So there she is. Looks pretty solid, nice and smooth. Comes with this baffle piece that kind of goes in here, like this maybe, or like that. There we go. And obviously we're going to Loctite these bolts. We're going to clean all this out with some brake cleaner first. Clean the windage tray with that too. Comes with, looks like all new hardware for the oil pan. Pop this out of here. Hardware, I'm guessing, for inside of here, a drain plug, some other stuff. There is a block off plate here if you had like an oil cooler. There's an O-ring. I'm probably going to use the O-ring that is in there already because it is brand new, as long as it fits our pickup tube. We got all new hardware for the actual pan, which is nice. So we're going to put this shiny freaking thing on there. I'll probably set you up on a time lapse, putting it on, or I'll just have a regular video. I don't know yet. I haven't decided. Let's get it on. All right, we're gonna jack this guy up here, get him in the air. Just kind of had him dangling there low so that if something did happen, it wouldn't have too far to fall. Now, I left the manifolds on because I just didn't want to have to deal with pulling the, you have to pull the plugs or pull the wires at least, pull the manifolds off. I didn't want to have to do that, so I pulled the whole exhaust off the bottom. Either way, that exhaust had no hangers on it, so it was easy to take off. There's just 2 bolts. We got to get some hangers on it in the meantime, well, after this whole dilemma. I think that's going to be high enough. If we got to go higher, we will. Try to do the 1 bolt method and just have 1 bolt hold it up in there. It's gotta come down. And she's gonna drip. All that nice oil. I think I'm gonna jack this up some more. Try to get it up high, I guess. I'm gonna pull the dipstick out, at least out of the way, so it's not jammed down in there or in our way or anything. So I'm gonna pull our pickup off, and then pull our windage tray. That's what that's called, right? I think. Hello? Oh, fudge. This is a brand spanking new Felpro gasket. So, we're using it. They give you a gasket in the kit, but like I said, this is Felpro. I don't know what brand that is they give you in the kit. So we're using this one. Yeah, so that kit does not give you new nuts with a windage tray, Or, yeah, Well, I guess it's not actually in the kit. This windage tray is separate. It's a GM part number. Like I said, I think it was a LS3. So your new pickup tube has 2 bolt holes in it. And they give you 2 supplied bolts, obviously. So we're gonna try to stuff this guy up in there. Maybe. So you wanna kind of, I can never push these in. I always kind of have to put the bolt in it and push it in. You put enough amount of oil on there, it should pull that O-ring in pretty well. Just kind of keep it even on each side. I did put Loctite on those oil pickup bolts. I think it said it in there. I don't know. It's not gonna hurt it though if it doesn't need it. It says, I'm pretty sure it says those to 9 foot-pounds. We're gonna kind of give them a cranker. These are like an Allen head. I'm using a T30 though. But that's what I have. Unless it won't reach. Alright, we got our pickup tube installed. We're gonna get all our nuts on. I just noticed something. Our dipstick tube just hits the pickup tube. I'll bring you guys in here. You can see our dipstick tube just hits the pickup tube. So I think what I'm gonna do is, I think our dipstick will work. I think I'm gonna pull this guy out and lob off the end here. Just a little bit, because all it's doing is holding this stationary. It'll have enough in there, so we'll cut off a little bit on the bottom so it's not hitting. I just actually use like a line cutting tool, like out of my flare kit. Cut it pretty good, nice and solid. I didn't have to use like the frickin' Sawzall or anything, you know. So let's slide this guy back in there. Put a little bit of oil on him. Lube him up. Slide him down here. Go. Get our bolt to hold them in place. Just for now. Let's see. Yep. Not hitting no more, which is good. Let's slide our dipstick in here. Oh boy. I did buy an LS3 dipstick because it said you might need to change it. Alright, this is going to take 2 hands. There. Looks like that'll clear. Hopefully it don't make no noise in there. But we do have the LS3 dipstick that we can use, so that looks good. So I'm going to go around, tighten all these bolts for the windage tray, and make sure we got no clearance issues as far as, you know, rotating assembly goes, as it says in the directions. And clean our pan out and slap her on there. Okay. All right, we definitely made a full revolution there, so looks like we're going to be okay. So I'm going to clean our oil pan out and get those bolts in there and slap her on there. All right, so we're going to kind of just do a test fit here with no gasket first. We're going to take our dipstick tube out, because, or a actual dipstick out, I just don't want that thing interfering in case we have to use that LS3 one. Yeah, it looks like that fits good. No blocks or anything, so we should be good. Ugh. Ugh. Yeah, Rudy, leave the freaking thing all the way over there. Kind of do a weird walk over here to get to this other bolt. Okay, and it's almost out of there. Stay in there, bro. There we go. All right, cool. We got it kind of hanging there. We can get all our other bolts in there now. All right, y'all. Oil pan's in. Not much more to really do than clear out some space and stab this thing in the car. So let's do just that and pray to God it fits. Well, we got her butted up in there. A little bit of a fight, but not as bad as I thought. So what I'm gonna do next is get our mounts back in here, because we're kind of a little close on our pan there, but I think we're gonna fit. I just want to be sure, or 100%. So I'm gonna put those in at least before I tighten up the actual transmission bolts and stuff like that, because that's a whole nother nightmare. But I just want to make sure these work, the pan fits, which it looks like it's definitely gonna, and yeah, bolt everything in. So I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but kind of, let me see if I can chip in here. Kind of looks like that's touching. So I'm gonna see what it looks like when we get it on the ground. But worst case scenario, we'll just pull that idler arm off and grind a little bit of the top away, maybe grind a little bit of the pan, and our problems will be gone. Maybe. That's the plan. We'll see how it looks when we get it on the ground. Well, camera died yesterday, so something else I could do. But she's in there. What I ended up doing was, because I think we ended where that pan was hitting that idler arm. Is that what that's called? I don't know. Anyway, I don't think that's what it's called. Anyway, what I ended up doing was took these mounts, put a couple washers in between them on each bolt, and it lifted it up. I put 2 because I don't want to put 1 and then it not be enough. So that's where we're at. So pretty much all I'm going to be doing is putting everything back together and then get this thing back on the ground. I probably won't finish doing that today because I got here kind of late, and I have to be somewhere by 6. So we need an oil filter, we need oil, because I'm not putting that old oil back in there. Just not happening. So that's the way it goes. So I started kind of having like a thought idea, I don't know, that I think I showed you. I'll let you peek under here real quick. Ugh. See on that pan? I don't know if you can see that or not. We're missing a bolt. But that pan doesn't have that bolt hole, it's just a flat surface. So I put some oil in it just to, you know, see if it's gonna leak. Just sitting here. I don't think it's gonna, because it's got that O-ring like that goes around the bolt, and then there's like a gasket side behind that, like a part of the pan, or like the pan presses up. So just makes me nervous with that bolt hole being there, but realistically I left the same gasket that was on that, so hopefully that channel gasket or whatever it is, the one that rides the pan rail, will actually seal that off. I filled it up with oil just to let it sit here, like I said, and see if it leaks. So we'll see what happens. I'm gonna probably start on getting everything back together. I gotta get the harness laid over here. I keep stepping on stuff, and get the crank position sensor plugged in, because then we can put the starter on, because you can't get that in without the starter out of the way. You may be able to, but I'm not doing all that. Then start plugging stuff back in. I think I'll probably plug the the crankshaft position sensor back in, and then I'll put the starter in. I'm gonna put a shim on it, the smallest shim there is, and then we'll see how it does when we go to start it up. So yeah, maybe I'll see you under the car putting the starter on. Well, I've got 2 different style of starter shims, and if kind of look at this. Here's your starter. This one ain't gonna work, because there's your hole there, and there's your other hole, and then this one's not gonna work. And these are all supposedly GM starter shims. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to drill one of these out to work. It's freaking stupid. But guess what? The starter's going back in. I don't care. I ain't got no time for that bull junk. Maybe we'll put it in this time and it won't make that noise, but probably not. I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. What in tarnation? There we go. Get in there. Maybe it was cocked or something, you know, when we put it up there last time. Who knows? Why? Tight. All right, well, we got some stuff going on here back in, some grounds hooked up, yada, yada, yada. But I did end up acquiring this throttle cable bracket, and that's kind of how that goes. It kind of bolts into these. Comes with bolts, you can get these on Amazon. So what I was thinking was I was gonna try to see if this throttle cable will work in here. So I'm gonna hook this up and see what happens. This guy, they want this to go like this, all the way back here. And I don't know if that's gonna be enough slack for our actual throttle bracket, or for the throttle cable, at least. Just gonna spin these in by hand right now, just to kind of hold it down. Because I know last time I had too much slack in this cable, and it, like, how you say, didn't want to, see, I don't even know if this would work. Yeah, that's a little bit too wide for that. But either way, you see what I'm saying? This thing has to go down here. Well, maybe we can get it, huh? Let's see if we tuck that back there. We had this like that. See, what we're gonna have to do is kind of grind this hole bigger on here. Feels like it's pretty tight. I'd like to zip tie this thing on here and see if the pedal will move that. I think it's pretty tight though. Let's see if we can make something happen here. Just temporary to kind of hold this guy in place. And this guy's got to go here. All right, I think that's enough slack on here, or just enough. We kind of want it to be a little bit more tighter, but I'm gonna go hit the throttle pedal and see what you do. Ready? That is to the floor. Moving it though, which is good. So that did look like it opened all the way. We're gonna have to mess with this a little bit. We're gonna have to probably grind that little piece open more so we can slide this cable down in there. That'll be for a different day, because I'm kind of burnt out right now. This video's been a lot, and that was a lot of work getting that engine out and back in and all the other stuff, getting the oil pan on. So the next video will probably be, you know, doing stuff like that, getting the starter shimmed. I did get a couple more pieces for our air intake. We'll get the exhaust back on and, you know, try to button some stuff up. I checked the oil pan, I went over there and looked. Doesn't look like it's leaking from that spot where I was worried for that bolt. So that's good. I got a new vacuum modulator because in the short time of me driving it, it seemed like it shifted a little hard or maybe too early. I don't know. It just kind of bangs into gear, so I don't know if that has anything to do with it. But whatever. It was like 30 bucks and they're not too hard to do. So I figured why not just do it now so we don't mess something up. So yeah. Hopefully the next video we'll be actually driving this thing for maybe an extended period of time. Getting some road miles on it, hopefully. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I surely somewhat did. It went okay, you know, dealing with those mounts and stuff like that really was not fun, but you got to do what you got to do. So yes, you do need a swap pan for this Firebird. I'm pretty sure that if you do go to the LS1 pan, the sump in it is kind of long. And you do have to trim that K-member. You have to cut into it and, you know, make a notch in it. I didn't want to have to do that, so that's why I bought the swap pan. You know, you're probably buying an LS1 pan for $150 to $200, so maybe save up the extra money, you know, the extra 150 bucks to actually get this pan, because if you put a couple spacers in between those mounts and stuff, it'll fit without a problem. We had a lot of clearance, which is good. Tripping over the old one. So yeah, a lot of work needed to be done. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. Take it easy.